So to understand the deeper reason behind the split between economics and economic anthropology, we have to go back in history, okay, to study the development of economic as a field of knowledge. Okay, so basically, economic thinking is very much influenced by Western capitalist philosophy, which places great importance on material profit. And at the same time, they believe that the rational management of resources will bring about maximum profit. And it is believed that economics will empower businessmen, and entrepreneurs by enabling them to predict the consumption patterns. These informations will then be used to plan the productions and marketing strategy. Okay, but you try to ask yourself, based on the assumptions made by the economists just now, so are the assumptions made by the economic scholars universal in nature? Can it be accepted in every society? So maybe these economic theories are only valid when applied to modern societies, but prove to be incompatible, when attempting to understand the economic systems of exotic cultures. Although small-scale pre-industrial societies seem to place more importance on subsistence economy, just to make ends meet, yet they infuse their exchange systems with social meaning. So they are emphasized on social relations in economic relationship attest to their lack of acquisitive instinct. In this topic, we will discover how economic systems are different from the market system, which forms a large part of modern living. So we are going to discuss about distributions of limited resources, because every society has access to natural resources in its environment, such as land, animals, water, minerals, and plants. Due to scarcity of such resources, society imposes rules for the purpose of regulating its distribution. So these rules ensure that those resources are used widely so as to prevent them from becoming extinct. At the same time, these regulations minimize conflict between the parties. So let us see how different societies distribute their resources. So basically, the distributions of limited resources will be, there are different, due to hunting and gathering societies, between the pastoral societies, horticultural societies, and also agricultural societies. So we have discussed about these societies in terms of production system previously. Let us look the first one about hunting and gathering societies. So how they distribute the limited resources. Modern society is characterized by private property, where an individual is legally entitled towards his possessions. It's either land, vehicles, houses, which cannot be encroached upon by others. This concept does not exist in hunting and gathering societies. You can see the difference. So in these hunting and gathering societies, land boundaries are not as strictly observed as in modern societies. The reasons for this, the first one, because they are the hunters. So the hunters have to track animals that migrate seasonally. So it does not make sense for them to become too attached to any piece of land, because they have to move from one place to another place. And then the second one, conquering and protecting a piece of land takes up time energy, and also technology. Okay, hunters and gatherers do not have the technology, okay, nor the inclination to invest their time and energy for such purposes. Okay, and then protecting a piece of land too strictly may lead to senseless conflict between hunting and gathering tribes. Sharing resources brings about more good to everyone than monopolizing resources selfishly. Okay, so you remember that these people, they are egalitarian in nature. Okay, so they are not fighting just to get the resources because they feel like their position is just the same, they do all the same thing, and they share everything among them. Okay. Okay, and then to the pastoral societies, okay, they are not like these hunting and gathering societies, okay, whereby even, okay, there are similarities. They also do not need plenty of land to breed livestock. Okay, but to sustain their way of living, pastoralists need access to two main resources. Okay, they really need water and also pasture, okay, because they have the livestock. As such, pastoral groups need to agree on how to access to these resources. Okay, so they need regulation. Okay, so pastures, as a rule, are never controlled by any single individual. Okay, but are communally owned. Okay, so they share the place. Pastures are land where the animals are brought to graze. Okay, pastoral societies include the, for example, in East Africa, there are the Tukana Society, okay, and Fulani in Nigeria. Okay, and then the horticultural societies. Okay, we want to see now how they distribute their limited resources. Okay, this group of society usually settle in lands that are controlled by their kin group. Okay, so this involve small nuclear families, okay, that allow each of them to use land as long as they work the land and maintain good relations with their kin group. Because they do not own the land, they cannot dispose of it as they please. Okay, so they are merely using the land with the blessing of their kin group. Saying that horticulturists practice shifting cultivation, it does not make sense for them to be tied down to a piece of land, okay, which they will leave the land one day. Okay, for example, like the Samoan Society, okay, practice the system, okay, where the land is controlled by an administrator called Matai, okay, who represents the interests of the kin group. Okay, and the next one, okay, the distributions of limited resources among the agricultural society, okay, whereby in these modern agricultural societies, they require wide expanses of land, okay, for intensive agricultural activities. Okay, so ownership, modern farmers have private ownerships over the lands that they use. Okay, so you can see the difference, okay, between these agricultural societies and the hunters and gatherers and also the pastoralists. Okay, for agricultural societies, they need private ownership over a land to work with. Okay, so this means that they cannot sell, lease, or just give away their land as present. Okay, because they absolutely own that piece of land. Okay, so because private property is a concept that is taken for granted in the West, sometimes anthropologists may make all the wrong inferences about the exchange systems of the cultures. Okay, so when we talk about the systems of exchange, the importance of exchange system in society, basically it may serve to, first one, to distribute the surplus, and second to diversify the goods and services that circulate in society. Okay, goods, one produced or acquired, have to be distributed to the society. The goods will surely be consumed. There will surely be surplus, okay, left at the end of the day. The question is, how does society manage the surplus? Okay, this brings us to the importance of systems of exchange in society. Okay. Okay, so to discuss further about the systems of exchange, Karl Polanyi divides systems of exchange to three. The first one is reciprocity, and then redistributions, and the other one is market system. Okay, let us go one by one. The first one, okay, systems of exchange through reciprocity. Okay, what is reciprocity? It is about the exchange of goods and services of almost equal value between two parties without using money. Okay, so types of reciprocity, there are three types. That is generalized reciprocity, balanced reciprocity, and also negative reciprocity. Okay, what is generalized reciprocity? Okay, so it is the exchange of goods without expecting any immediate return. Okay, someone give goods to someone and did not expect that the other party will give the same to them. Okay, in hunting and gathering, generalized reciprocity is the social system that takes care of the welfare of society. Okay, so they did not expect that when they do good, when they give something to the people will give back to them. Okay. Okay, the second one, the balanced reciprocity, whereby it involves the exchange of goods where the parties involved expect the return of goods and services of equal value, okay, within a certain time frame. Okay, so compared to generalized reciprocity, balanced reciprocity involves greater formality, okay, greater social distance, and also it requires an obligation to exchange the gifts. Okay, for example, okay, the classic example that we can mention here is balanced reciprocity in cultural anthropology, as what we mentioned by Malinowski. Okay, Bronislaw Malinowski study of the collaring practice by the Trobriand Islanders. Okay, have you heard about collaring? Okay, so what is collaring? Okay, so collaring here, it is about the material, okay, which is known as seashell necklaces, which is moved in one direction, clockwise. Okay, so with the seashell, okay, there are two materials. One is seashell necklaces, another one is seashell bracelets. Okay, so these two things, okay, the necklace and bracelets, move in the opposite directions. Okay, one in clockwise, another one in counterclockwise. Okay, so these seashell objects are famed for its beauty. Okay, the nobility of its original owners and great distances that they have traveled. Okay, so its symbolic function is to commemorate the reciprocal relationship enjoyed by the trading partners and their willingness to continue trading with each other. Okay, if in our modern days we have the concepts of MOU, right? Okay, we need to have the memorandum of agreement. Okay, the signature. Okay, we need to have the economic cooperation with one country to the other country. But in this collaring system, whereby they use the bracelets and also necklace, which is made by the seashell. Okay, so their practice is that when they meet, they will exchange the seashells necklaces, okay, with the seashell bracelets according to certain rituals. Okay, and at the same time, they will also exchange goods such as yam, boats, okay, swine, fish, and craft work.